Hello there, great to have your company. I'm Clive, Holland, and if you've been putting off some decorating because it's become a chore and you're not looking forward to it, this man to my right and your left is David Ades, and he's brought a brilliant product for you that'll make that job so much easier. And that I promise. David, how are you, mate?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm brilliant. You carry on working while I give the details. Take a look at
I've done it, actually.
You've done it already, you see? That's the speed of the man. Let's take a look at those details. Here we go. It's the Paintmaster Speed Pro Kit. He is the Paintmaster. 817502. There's your price, £16. And remember, you can order directly from the website, www.pricecrash.tv. Or, of course, you can use that telephone number between 8 a.m. in the morning and 1 a.m. the following morning, if you like. That number is 08708 380 380. Okay, David, now I've said it makes the job that much easier,
yes.
and you're a bit of a Billy Whiz with this. How easy is it to use?
Well, it's very, very easy. It's not that I'm doing anything special. All I'm doing is moving the pad around the surface. Now, the great thing about this system is it paints accurately. It doesn't drip or splash. You can paint patterns like I've just done, or you can paint the whole wall. Now, the good thing about it, of course, is that it's easy to use in any direction. I'm just going round in circles, back to front, side to side. And of course, you can see I'm standing round the back of the panel and leaning round the front. So if I can do it from this position, I think you're going to find it even easier to do when you're standing round the front. You can see what you're doing properly. And remember, of course, my walls are wobbling a little bit, so if yours don't wobble, you'll be even better.
Yeah.
But look at the finish on there, though.
I love that finish.
It's smooth, isn't it? It's perfect.
And to me, I've got to say that if I was doing a job and I was getting my paintbrush out or whatever, I'd get back up the next morning, I'd have those little white spots from the old paperwork underneath, the old paint.
Yes.
And I'd probably have brush strokes and bristles and all sorts of things. The finish on that first time is just so effective.
Well, there's no bristles on here. There's tiny flock bristles, not the long hairs that you get in a paintbrush. So with this, you don't worry about bristles coming out. And of course, where it touches, it paints. That's the good thing about it. Very, very simple to use in any direction on any surface. So whether you're doing flat surfaces, whether you're doing smooth surfaces, plastered walls, plain walls, or very deep anaglypta type wallpapers, blown vinyls, patterned wallpapers, or even Artex if you have it, stucco, brickwork, or even fence paint work as well. It's fantastic for all of that. And as you can see there, just dusting over the surface gives me a fabulous finish. So once again, it doesn't have big blobs, it doesn't have runs or drips, it paints perfectly. Now a lot of people say, well, I've always used a brush, and if I call a painter and decorator around, he'll come around and he'll use a brush.
Yeah.
Well, he may use a roller. Well, if you've ever used a roller, you know what happens. You go up and down the wall, it sprays and splatters paint. There is a technique. If you use a brush, well, you can get one of these things. Nearly £19 I paid for this. Just for one brush.
Our whole kit is only 16.
I know. And all this does is paint, emulsion paint. That's all it does. But the thing with it, they call it a professional paintbrush, and that's because professional painters will use it. Well, let me just tell you, if you're a professional painter, to become one, you have to serve an apprenticeship. And it often takes about 2 years to get that apprenticeship complete.
So you get that professional finish you're talking about.
Exactly, and so that you know how to use the right tools for the right job. But the thing is, if you don't want to serve a 2-year apprenticeship and you just want to do what I'm doing, which is paint over the surface, whether you want to paint your hall, your stairs or landing, a bedroom, a bathroom, maybe the kitchen, maybe the kids' bedrooms, maybe just a loo or something like that, you want to paint a small room or a large room or an office.
Yeah.
This is going to work for you, and you don't have to wait 2 years to learn how to use it. You can get this kit and use it the very first time and get perfect professional results.
But you know what? If sometimes, we get to the situation where we know we've got to do some decorating, or we've been asked to do some decorating, or in some cases told, and you just don't look forward to it.
Well, you don't. And of course, with this, you don't have to buy anything else because you've got everything in this kit that you need. You've got enough for emulsion paint, you've got enough for gloss paint, you've got all the different shapes of the pads included in the kit. Let me actually show you what you get in the kit. And
great.
And then I want to show you the difference between a paintbrush and using this kit, because that's a quite interesting comparison for you. Before I do that, let me just explain what you receive when you get this at home. You get the 2 trays. It's a double tray unit. You can cut it here and then use it in separate rooms for 2 different people. You've got a large tray and a small tray, and really that's because you might want to use the large one for emulsion paint, because typically you paint larger areas with emulsion.
Yep.
And use that small tray for gloss paint. That's brilliant for gloss because it will cover a smaller area a lot easier. You've also got the large paddle handle there that I use, which is the one that we will use the most. It's for emulsion paint. The pad slots into it nice and easily, and it pops out for cleaning. So you don't have to just worry about, what you do with that. It pops in and out.
I was just wondering how you clean that.
Well,
so you just pop it out, yeah?
Pop it out, use it with emulsion paint and wash it in water, just the same as way you would do with a brush or a roller.
Yep.
and it'll rinse out all of the paint, so you can use that again and again. Now you do get spare pads, only because you might have different colours you want to use them for, or you might forget to wash them and then you need to replace them, because in the same way as any brush or roller will do, it will dry hard.
Yeah.
And once that happens, then it's no use to you. So all you do is, I'll just show you here, you just pop that out, see that's nice and easy, and then you just pop it straight back in. Very, very simple, very easy to do, bingo, that job's done. And then you can clean them, you can use them over and over and over.
Yeah.
Now remember, you've got the gloss pad, the one here. Comes with the pad as well as the handle. It also allows you to take that pad out, turn it round. And by the way, if I take it out and turn it 90 degrees, quarter of a turn, it's the perfect shape for covings and cornices.
Oh,
brilliant,
yes,
isn't it?
brilliant.
Now remember as well, the one that we always like to use, the one we call the toothbrush size, that's for painting small areas. I'll show you that on a window frame in a moment. You see this, what we call the leading edge here, the plastic trim?
Yeah.
That runs up against the glass and prevents the pad from touching it. So that actually will paint the wood surface or the surround of the window, and it will prevent the paint from going onto the glass surface by using that trim. You get a couple of pads with that one as well.
So it's saving time in the fact we don't have to mask up anymore.
That's
so we're not going
right.
to mask up the windows with masking tape.
Masking tape and all of that. And also, because it's such a non-drip system, you don't have to worry too much about sheeting over everything, because it doesn't drip. If you want to sheet over just in case,
More
that's
time
fine,
saved.
More time saving. This is the corner pad. I'll show you this one as well. Fantastic pad. This one will get right into the corners, whether it's the ceiling to the wall or whether it's the two walls going vertically. It will cut into the corner without having to use a brush and work hard at it.
Oh, I
you
like
slide
that.
it up and down and bingo, that job's done. Of course, it's on a swivel as well, and it attaches to the telescopic handle which you get in there.
It does away with the brush completely.
It does really, and because we tell you to mix the paint, I'll show you that in a moment, you get a stirrer in there, you get the adapter for the handle, and you get your telescopic handle there as well, so you can go right up to the high parts of the walls.
So we're getting all of that, for just £16.
Yeah.
There's all your details that are on the screen right now, 817502. It's the Paintmaster Speed Pro Kit. Remember, you can order that from the website at the bottom of the screen right now, or, of course, between 8 a.m. in the morning and then 1 a.m. the following morning, you can phone us on that number at the bottom of your screen. But it's a brilliant bit of kit, this. You'll enjoy doing your decorating, that's for sure.
And remember what you've got here, you've got 4 different sizes, the large one for emulsion, then you've got your gloss pad, you've got your toothbrush size for small delicate areas, spindles and sashes and things like that, and you've got your corner pad as well. Each one comes with a pad, and in this case you've got 3 pads there, so you've got an awful lot. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've actually got 8 pads in the kit.
That is a lot in that
A
kit.
lot of pads in the kit. Now you may need more, and there's a refill pack available.
Okay.
And the refill pack contains one of each of the pads as an extra set. It's about a tenner on the website if you want the refill pack.
Yeah, okay.
What we're going to do, though, for everybody who does either go onto the internet and orders this for just £16, it's a phenomenal deal for that complete kit.
Right.
We're going to give you the refill pack absolutely free. And if you call us between 8 a.m. in the morning and 1 in the morning, we'll include that as well. If you quote that 817502 number, you get the entire kit, and we'll give you absolutely free of all charge the refill pack at no extra cost.
That is brilliant.
That's a deal, isn't it?
So you're getting the extra pack. So what I'd say to you right now, if you've got access to the internet, is get onto the internet right now. Don't forget to quote that item number there in the top left-hand corner of your screen, 817502 for the Paintmaster, and he's off again. Look at him, the Speed Pro Kit for just 16 quid. And you've seen everything that you get in that kit, which is quite remarkable. But now David has thrown in, for those people that are getting onto the internet, or of course are making that call between 8 a.m. and 1 a.m. the following morning, you will get free of charge this extra pack of replacement pads. How brilliant is that? £16, that is a cracking price. And I promise you this, you're going to love the way this applies your paint. And remember, David, we talked as well, did we, about the fact that you can do gloss paints with this as well?
Yes, you can. Use it with gloss paint with that medium-sized pad. You won't use the large pad for gloss, but you will use the medium size for gloss paint. I just want to show you here with a brush, because people obviously wonder, well, I've always used a brush. Painter and decorator uses a brush. Why wouldn't I? Well, let me just show you why. First of all, it's dripping a little bit because I've got a lot of paint on here because I want to cover a large area. But the second thing to remember is that I'm actually having to work this in because I've got a very bumpy textured surface. And as I come down here, I'm actually running out of paint. So that's looking a bit scruffy. And as I come over here, even though I'm working it in, I'm not getting much paint out of it at all. And it's starting to annoy me a little bit because my wrist is going to start aching soon. I need to go backwards and forwards to the pot. There's a chance of dripping it in between there, and it's not going to do a very good job.
So how does that cover so well, compared to a brush?
Well, if you take a look at the surface area of the pad, and you can see it there, There's the surface area of the bristles on the brush, and there's the surface area of the pad. And the surface area of the pad is many, many times more than the bristles on the brush. And I know that you tend to bend the bristles a little bit, but even so, that pad is probably 6 or 7 times the surface area.
Right.
Now remember how it works. Get rid of the brush for a minute. Load the pad, and all you do, by the way, to load the pad is you just draw it across the wheel. Just go backwards and forwards. If you think you've got too much paint on there, then all you do is you draw it gently across the edge of the tray. The excess paint runs back in. And that is absolutely fantastic.
Thought of everything in this kit.
Isn't that simple? Now the pad's ready loaded. I've not got a lot of paint on there because I've drawn most of it off. But if I actually place that onto the surface and pick up the excess paint that I had on there from the brush, I can go right to the top. I can go all the way to side, right down to the bottom, and I can cover that entire panel with one application in less time. And that's, by the way, a light colour over a dark colour. And that's in less time than it took me to use the brush and struggle to do that small area. So that's why the pads are so much more successful. Look at the sheen, look at the evenness on that surface, the beautiful finish. It is incredible, isn't it? It's fantastic.
It's superb.
And that's a textured surface as well. So it's a difficult surface to get a good finish on because you can see the depth of the texture. So it's actually quite difficult, but I think I've achieved my goal there. That is fantastic.
It is brilliant. And you've got no patches. You've also got no bristles. And, you know, it's the way you stand back after you've seen the job. It's such a professional finish, all for £16. It really is quite incredible.
Great for designs as well. If you want to do patterns on a wall, if it's a bedroom wall, if you want to do any kind of special shapes or curves or lines or anything like that, you can do it with this quickly and simply. And that kind of effect you will be able to achieve in any kind of paints, in any kind of colours. You don't have to buy special paint.
Great for the kids' bedroom.
Yeah, fantastic. Just ordinary cheap paints.
Okay.
Now let me just show you on the window frame, because here we've got a surface which is difficult to do.
Yep.
And also remember that when you use it on something like this, I'm going to paint this surface over here. What you end up with is you've got to mask off all of the glass.
Yep.
You've got to get right in tight into the corners, which are difficult to do. And then you've got to start scratching and scraping to get rid of it all. What I'm going to do is just take that corner, the little pad, the one we call the toothbrush pad, and I'm loading it very, very quickly there. Look, that's got the paint on it, nice and easily, so no hard work there. And just placing it into the corner, using the guide, which is the plastic surface, just to run up against the glass. And I think we can see there, that, 2 passes.
Look at that.
And that's done. I'll just turn
and
it for
not
you
a
to see.
bit on the glass.
And that's me standing around the back of it, by the way. If I was around the front, I'd be able to actually see what I'm doing. But you can see just running up there very quickly. And
It's
that's
incredible.
And that's using that little pad there, which is the one we call the corner pad. Remember, that leading edge is the bit there that actually prevents the paint from going onto the surface, because that runs up against the glass. So that, as you can see, that is incredible, isn't it?
It is incredible, I've got to say. The fact that you are saving time on the fact you don't have to mask up, you don't have to, after you've finished painting, scratch off the paint that's gone onto the glass when it's dried. Brilliant finish.
And for any kinds of shapes as well, for different nooks and crannies, for different sections and shapes of mouldings, and like this one in particular is a difficult one to paint. With a brush you'd be working on this for a long time. That's a matter of seconds really, probably about 15, 20 seconds. I think I've painted that really well, and I've got into all of the grooves. There's no blobs, there's only me. Apart from that, there's no paint.
I thought you were going to say me then.
No, well, I would never say that, Clive.
Yes, you would. Don't believe it. No.
Let me just show you, by the way, the telescopic handle, and then I'll quickly run through what you get.
Great.
Remember, the handle allows you to paint the walls. I'm going to paint this. But you can paint right up there on the wall with that handle. You can, if you reach further, you'll get even higher. And if you turn it that way round, you'll be able to paint the ceilings as well. That's easy. So walls and ceilings, absolutely no problem. And floors as well.
And floors,
Yep.
because you can, if you actually have bare floorboards, or you're thinking of exposing your floorboards, you can do the floor varnish with that as well.
Yes, you can. Remember what you get in the kit. You've got everything you need here. There's the large tray and the small tray. Large for emulsion, small for gloss paint. You get the large handle for emulsion paint. You get 3 of the pads to go with it. There's your gloss pad with the pad there as well. So that's going to paint gloss paint onto doors, window frames, architraves. For small areas, for delicate work on spindles and window sills and frames, small bits and pieces. If you're a model builder, by the way, if you make dolls' houses or something, you can use the small toothbrush pad. The corner pad for getting into all the nooks and crannies, your clip adapters, your stirrer, the telescopic handle, the whole kit and caboodle, all of that
He's just
and we give you that refill pack
brilliant.
as well.
And you're getting the refill pack if you get onto our website right now, www.pricecrash.tv, or that telephone number at the bottom of your screen, 08708 380 380 817 502. It's the Paintmaster Speed Pro Kit. All of that for 16 quid. David,
My
brilliant,
pleasure.
mate.
Thanks, Clive.
Absolutely top dollar. Stay tuned, because after this we've got more great products coming up. Brilliant to have your company. See you soon.